Welcome back to Football Manager 2024 Surviving Luton. We're on a decent run now. We're currently in 5th place of the English Premier League. After our Stoke win, we then went on to beat Fulham 2-0. Basdar and Wharton end up scoring 2-0 to put us through. Then we end up somehow tying against Dortmund. We got lucky again with a sending off in the 42nd minute, but we couldn't really do anything to put us ahead. Nijpen ends up getting the equalizer just before the half, but then the whole second half, there wasn't really anything to be told. Then the next game against West Ham, we were away. We end up winning 2-1. Gelhardt and Martial end up both scoring Suzik for West Ham. And then we somehow managed to claw back and get a 2-2 draw against Man City. We end up starting with 1 goal, and then Kirarodia gets the second one before Phil Foden ends up scoring one immediately after, and then Asensio scores a very late one. So we're going to have to kind of work on our composure towards the end. But then we end up playing in the UEFA Champions League against AS Monaco, and Hall scores before an own goal, and then Basdar scores a very late one when they're pushing forward. And then we just beat Wolves, an intense game. We ended up scoring at the very end. Kolasinac ends up scoring, and then Samu scores at the very end to put us through. An incredible goal. Basdar, Traore, Holding, and Samu all owe everything to. We got very lucky XG-wise. Wolves were ahead of us, but we went into the Lions' Den and managed to come out with a victory in the last second of the game. Then we ended up beating Brentford 1-0. Nijpen scoring again. Nijpen has been pretty good for us, and we couldn't be happier with how well he's progressing. But we're trying to play him as much as possible, and hopefully we can play him in this match with Dynamo. In the UEFA Champions League, we are currently in 11th place, so a victory here could actually solidify us in the Champions League there. Dynamo's towards the bottom, so that would just increase the amount of space between us. Even if we end up getting a tie, I feel as though it could help us. And Dortmund has not done that well. I mean, they have 2 ties, 2 losses, and a win. And then the only other team would be PSV or Atletico. Atletico is surprisingly not doing as well as what I would expect. But most teams have points, but the teams that we're going to end up playing afterwards are Porto and Bayer. So between those 2 teams, if we can end up getting the easier out of all 3, then there's a very good chance that we could actually make it to the next round. So let's see the squad that we have for the Dynamo game. And here's our squad for the Dynamo game. We are playing at home, so hopefully we can give a result for our fans. Capril's in goal. Hall, Gector, Holding, and Curtis are our D. We have Hughes and Samu as our defensive mid. Stanis, Almeida, and Nijpen as our attacking mid, and then Gelhardt up front. We do have Kabori who's back, so he should be able to play for us as well. And we have Basdar who can come in if we really need it, but I feel as though Gelhardt can get it done. And hopefully we can win in front of our home fans. But we've been on a decent run, so it should be more of the same. And I'm really hoping that a win here can send us through without having to get a result in the next 2 games, which are arguably much more difficult than this one. Holding with the header. Nijpen can get to it, but no one's there. So he's just going to chase it down for nothing. But at least we have a highlight on their side in the first 2 minutes, actually. So I wonder if we can get a goal here. I don't know what Hughes is doing. His first touch seems off. And we still have the highlight, though, so it didn't really cost us. Nijpen with it to Hughes, and Hughes puts it way over. I don't understand how anyone can ever miss from that close. Especially the target with not that much pressure. All you have to do is hit it hard and low, and it should be able to go in. But we are at least dominating possession here. And if we're Arsenal, we would be very happy with that result. But since we aren't, we do want to go for the win here. Almeida with a chance. Oh my god, I thought we got to the end of that. No one can connect with the ball. I don't understand that. So looks like it's a counter on their side. All we have to do is just stop them now. Stannis now intercepting it. Jesus. It's like the final third of the pitch. We can't seem to do anything about. But possession seems split now. And there's not many opportunities in the first 20 minutes of this game. And as long as we don't concede in the first, that's my biggest fear, is that we end up conceding early and ends up costing us. Speaking of that, we are one point below Arsenal, so I mean, let's go a little bit above them. I feel as though we can do this. Juventus up 1-0 on Tel Aviv. We should probably change this. Oh no, we do see it. Okay, RB Leipzig is also ahead of Sparta, and Nice is in front of Salzburg. And Maccabi Tel Aviv ends up having someone sent off as well. Bayern's up 1-0 on Man City. That is crazy. And Liverpool up 1-0 on Ajax. Nijpen more so used as a defensive mid or a midfield, but we end up having to play him on the wing just because we want him on the pitch. But you can see just from that he has a decent amount of vision. He's definitely someone to watch out for over the next little while. Hall doing a karate kick there, somehow getting the corner again. And it looks like Salzburg ended up tying against Nice. And Sammy with the lackluster header there right into the goalie's hands. And I mean, we're going to need a much different second half, but so far it's been all us. So I don't mind that, but we definitely need to push more. We are more of a positive mentality here, but I feel as though second half we kind of have to go all attack there and get the goal that we desperately need. And we concede. That is my exact fear that we end up having. We're going to go attacking here. We are going to demand more because that is absurd. They haven't had a chance all game, and then that's what ends up happening. But Turina, and that looks offside. That is offside. How do they not count that? Can they not afford it in Champions League? No, that's the wrong pass. What are you doing? They did the wrong one for it being. That is ridiculous. We got robbed there. How did they not know to do the second pass, the one that clearly was a pass through? This is so stupid. We're going to have to go full force on this one. And I don't like the fact that we're down 1-0, especially on such a BS call like that. I know it's a computer game, so it's very difficult to get everything perfect, but that seems like a missed opportunity. They end up evaluating the wrong thing. I guess at least it's better than getting an own goal from half, which is what we had in the beta version. Nijpen beats his man. Can he finish? No one can finish until Hughes finally hits it. His first goal of the season, puts it top corner. That is what we want to see. Nijpen might have to come off though. So Nijpen ends up beating his man. He ends up kicking it. Gets blocked by the goalie. Almeida's gets blocked as well until Hughes puts it top corner. Probably one of the goals of the season. A half volley. That was an amazing shot there. We are going to have to make our subs in a little bit. I'd rather get the goal before taking off some of our better players. Almeida with a chance here. Oh my god. Gets put away for a corner. I thought he managed to finish that. But somehow goalie gets touched to it. We're still in the offensive, and of course, every single corner gets called for an offside because they pass it right back to them. So it's always something that irritates me. Gelhardt, I don't know what you're doing. What the hell are you doing, Gelhardt? He ends up kicks it right at him. So we get the next highlight here. Hopefully someone actually puts a shot on target though. Stannis gets it. And he does put on target, but gets denied by the goalie. 55 minutes in, it's all Luton here. I mean, arguably it's been all Luton all day, except for the one goal. That's their only opportunity, and even then, I would say that they shouldn't have had it. But we don't want to make a sub too early. We don't want to make it too late either. But Gelhardt, I'm definitely going to take off, and Astanis, I think I'm going to take off as well. Gelhardt's going to come off for Bazar, and let's put on. I think Martial should come on for Pedrola. We'll look at Hughes and Nijpen in the next subs, probably around the 70th minute. But I feel as though Martial can show his worth here. We do have 6 shots on target, 12 in total. And I'm really hoping this isn't the other time that we decide to take our foot off the pedal. And Hall denies it. Bazar getting to it. That's a vicious foul there. Yeah, 5 shots, 1 on target for them. And we're going to probably take them off now. Nijpen and Hughes are going to come off. Nijpen's going to have to come off for a Chevry. And then Hughes is going to have to come off. We're going to have to do a Solace there. And let's go very attacking, actually. And let's go maybe a high tempo. I feel as though that should be the difference there. Higher tempo. Everyone's going to get tired, though. So everyone's got to dig deep. And at least we got first to it. Holding managed to doing the captain duties and gets first to it. Almeida now hopefully can beat his man. Bazar not on the end of it. And we just head it straight into the goalie's hands. I don't know what we're doing there. But a Chevry not as clinical as what I need him to be. And then we're probably going to have to do another sub here. Let's move these guys up. I feel as though now Azun's probably going to be the one that has to come on, though. We're going to put in Azun for Samu here. I think he can play that position. But I feel as though adding them might help. And I might want to put Almeida up front, though. We end up losing it. Chevry back to Almeida. Solace, now with the space that we gave him. And Hall ends up losing the possession there. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. So we're going to put... let's put Almeida there as a striker. Maybe a false 9 there. See if he can do it. Wouldn't be too bad. I feel as though we can definitely get this result there. As long as we don't concede. The tie does us very little. And a loss does us even worse. They are switching to a 5-1-2-2, so it's like they're matching what we're trying to do. 81 minutes in. And are they killing time? I really hope that they aren't, because this is pretty annoying if they are. And it looks like they are. They're definitely killing time. Hall clearing it to Martial, but nothing happens with that highlight there. We just got to get possession in their end, not in our end. Gekter getting the interception there to Bazdar. Now we have to put it through. Puts it through to Martial. A Chevry, oh my god, he can't head for shit. Why are you heading at all? That's 2 headers that one ends up going right into the goalie's hands and then the other one goes sky high. It's like he needs to learn a little bit in between there. Just put more power to it. Curtis running down, and there we go. Bazar gets on the edge of it. That's exactly what we want to see. And now we can kind of go back to the way things were. We're still going to leave us at more of an attacking, though. I feel as though it's the better move. And Almeida can now stay as an attacking mid here. I know he's a little bit tired, but Bazar puts us through there. This will probably mean a little bit more than what we were hoping for. Martial almost with the shot there. Azun now has it. Let's see if he can be his man. He's going to pass it back there. Yeah, Curtis, cross it in now. And do the same. We end up getting a corner. I will settle for a corner here. See if we can find Bazzer again. Holding now getting it. And we're just going to... I don't like wasting time. I really don't. But 2 minutes in, and yeah, we end up giving back possession to them. But we regain it. Now Chevry can finish. What? He puts it off the crossbar. I don't know how that happened. All you gotta do is keep it low, buddy. And I'm really hoping this isn't gonna cost us. But Marshall could show his worth here. Azun is gonna probably shoot it. Just watch. Shoots it, misses completely. Everyone's got to keep it down. Everyone's getting so many nerves hopefully out of the way now. And terrible pass though. We will ignore it if this doesn't result in a shot though. No way. No way. That is poor. Terrible pass though ends up costing us. And they score almost immediately after. Capriel ends up doing an own goal because he ends up it hits his head. I guess we'll have to accept this result here. Unless we can get some magic at the very end. And no, we can't. That's disappointing. The 2 times, it was a terrible pass by Almeida that ended up costing us. Yeah, we weren't good enough, yeah. That's just what it is. No finishing. Oh my god. It leaves us here in 13th place, so we are definitely going to need a result in our next match. But that is so disappointing to go. I did see something else that was pretty interesting here. Where did I find it? We did get our youth facilities upgraded. So that was great. It ended up costing us 32 million, but now we have superb training facilities, excellent youth facilities, fairly basic corporate, so we don't care about corporate. We have excellent academy coaching, and we have exceptional youth recruitment as well. And we are due to move in at the end of the season to Power Court. So we are excited about that, but I did see something else too that was pretty interesting. Let's see if I can find it. I think it's more so to the league. Yeah, Rooney ends up taking the job at Crystal Palace, so it would be exciting to see that, but I didn't realize that he's bringing John O'Shea, Carl Robinson, Ashley Cole, and Shay Given with him. So I find that pretty cool. The fact that Rooney's now going to end up playing for Crystal Palace, or managing Crystal Palace. And let's see his milestones here. Yeah, so he took on from them on the 8th. He was with Everton before, so it's not going to show him anything other than that. Let's jump to our cup game and see if we can at least get a win there after our disappointing tie in the Champions League. And here's our squad for the Carabao Cup against Cardiff. We have Ernst in goal, Araujo, Kirodia, Malanka, and Gekter as our D. We have Wharton and O'Neill as our defensive mid, Nipin, Chevry, and Anthony as our wingers. And then we have Gelhardt up front. We might swap it out though. Let's put in Goy. We'll put in Goy instead of Anthony. We'll make the sub afterwards. And no, Rob Holding's not going to get picked. I don't know why they would want him to. I know he's the captain, but this is just one of those games where we should probably play our younger players just to kind of develop them a little bit better. Especially against a team again like Cardiff. Like Cardiff is, I believe, towards the bottom of the championship, so this should be pretty much like against a League One team. So, I mean, all our players are leaps and bounds above that. So it shouldn't really cause us too much of a hassle. As you can see, we're passing the ball pretty fluidly until we then lose it. And their first possession that they have, they just kick it away. So we do have the majority of the possession, and we did have all of it, but then they end up somehow getting it and then just kicking away. But around 77 possession as of now. Our first opportunity here. Let's see if a Chevry can live up to the hype. If we can get it on target, I feel as though it should be in. and their goalie dives and saves it. So no goal yet, but we do have a corner in advanced position, but typically those don't end up scoring if that's the highlight. Yeah, and yeah, another corner. Gelhardt almost proving me wrong though, but for whatever reason, I don't know why he's so far from the goal. He is drawing a little bit of an interest though. I think there's a couple teams that kind of want him, but like any player that we have, only at the right price. I do like Gelhardt. I do think he can be a good, or he has been a good, what? Ngoy almost showing why we need to pick him, ends up rocketing off the upright. 3 shots on target though. It does look like it's going to be all Luton though. But no, we do want to see what we have from Gelhardt. Gelhardt can definitely be a force in the Prem. He was the last couple of years. I feel as though this season he's just kind of off to a slow start, but towards the end of the season when there's less competition, I feel as though he should show exactly what we need. But right there he doesn't. It does look like we're the only game that's playing right now with the Cup. It's probably because of Champions League and other commitments as well. But we do have a chance to get ahead here. Rougeau gets a rare start though. We did pay a decent amount of him for season 1, so probably our biggest regret, I would say. And I feel as though that was a foul, but Chevry ends up getting it. O'Neill, it looks like he got fouled, but also dummied it at the same time. I like seeing Kirodia as the captain though. Nipin passing it through. O'Neill looks like he got fouled, but then Chevry gets it and he scores immediately. So we do like what we see there. And he's attacking mid. That's where he's supposed to play. So think of it this way. If someone ends up coming in and paying for Almeida, we do have a Chevry who can play that position. Gelhardt almost getting a chance there. These show vital interventions, but I feel as though they are fouls. So if they were on the other side, I feel as though it would be called right away. Malonka actually sporting a 7.2 and a Chevry with 7.7 and Nipin with 7.1. So it is what we like to see from our growing players. And no shot here. Let's hope that we can get out of this one. Almost putting it in, but Ernst ended up getting a hand on it, so it goes for a corner. And I mean, I'm not going to say what I said about the corners before, but yeah, only when we're conceding, I guess, is how it works. So it is level 1-1. Terrible was displayed defensively, though. And we like to watch it. So Kirodia just not jumping when he needs to. It is 1-1. That is their only real opportunity, which is the last couple minutes. They do have 21 possession, so we are owning the majority of it. I thought we were going to be able to breeze through this, but looks like they have a little bit more fight in them. And we like to watch the ball go past us sometimes. So let's see if we can get another goal here. We're not really going to do anything to change it. We're not going to demand more. We're not going to do any of that kind of stuff. We're just going to do the team talk at half and make the subs that we have to if we aren't scoring. Ngoy, I don't know what you're doing. That's 2 chances that you've had, the clear-cut chances. You're making the decent runs, but you're not able to finish, which is going to be huge if you want to make it on this team, that's for sure. He's probably going to get subbed, probably at halftime. We did pick him instead of, I can't even remember his name off the top of my head, but instead of another winger. And Linus Gector putting us ahead there. Nice cross by a Chevry, so a good corner from him. That's oh no, Wharton got it. Okay, so Wharton and then Gector first to it. That is what we want to see. Looks like defensively, there's just not much defense that's happening between either team. And 3 minutes extra time. Let's see if we can put one more before the halftime. That's probably what we need, and then we can kind of change how we do things. We won't have to put in a closer. We can just put in more prospects, which is exactly what we want to do. But Ngoy is probably still going to end up having to get subbed off at some point, I find. Gector getting the interception, proving to be a very valuable asset. We did get him for free, and I think for a minute it showed that he was a wonder kid. But the fact that we end up getting him for free and he's already on our roster, we got him from Germany, and for whatever reason they didn't want to offer him a contract, which seems like a very misguided opportunity. Nijpen jumps over NG and he's off the mark. What an amazing shot. And Ngoy had an amazing cross as well. So he does look like he could be a good winger. He is there is interest in him, not just by us, but by other teams as well. And Nijpen doing exactly what we need him to do just before the half. We're up by 2, 3-1. And even that lapse in the first half there did not cost us when it mattered. Almost everyone is in the 7.0 rating, so we do like to see that as well. And nothing doing it with that highlight there. We're gonna hold off to making our subs. We want to see as much as we can from Ngoy and O'Neill. O'Neill's gonna stay on. Wharton's gonna be the one that probably ends up getting taken off, but it's probably gonna be for someone like Solis or Tommy. And we're going to take him off at 60. We're going to probably do a couple switches. Maybe even Gelhardt gets taken off. Just because he's not... I'm surprised he hasn't gotten a goal yet in this game. So Warren's going to come off. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing Hall there, but maybe we put in Doyle? Let's see. Anthony was the guy that I was thinking of. Doyle's around 24. No, I'd rather Solis. Solis is going to come in for Wharton there. And... Azun is the other one. Maybe he comes on for Nijpen. Or for... Yeah, we'll put him on for Nijpen there. And we'll swap out a Chevry there. So Azun will play attacking mid. Street might come on as well. Where else can he play? He can just play at the left. So hold off on that. We'll leave Arujo as much as possible. Arujo can probably go in defensively as well. So we'll hold off on both those. Kabore could also be another one, but Rogers will probably get the nod over all of them. We don't have another striker other than Azun that can play striker as well in a Chevry. So we'll probably leave in Gelhardt just so he gets his every opportunity that he's deserved this season. If he can get a goal, that'd be huge for us. Chevry on the wing, not as dominant as Nijpen on it. But Nijpen did put us with the cushion there, making us able to sub him off. And Azun just running right through them. That's exactly what we want to see from the new signing. Gelhardt hits the post. Oh my god. We have 6 shots on target, and Gelhardt's probably responsible for at least 2 of those. He just can't finish. He can't buy a goal at this point. Ngoy, no, we're gonna keep on. For whatever reason, Solis can't cope, but Arujo, maybe we end up putting there. We'll put on Street as well, and then maybe put Gector in for Kirodia, and then we'll put in Kabore at the right there. And then we still got one more sub. Let's just do... I'm going to try and leave in Ngoy. Let's do Rogers. We'll put in Rogers maybe... Rogers and Ngoy is the only one that really makes sense. You know, we'll put him up... We'll put Ngoy up top. See what he can do. It involves less running, so Gelhardt we will take off, it turns out. And Ngoy gets his shot up front. Let's see if he can finish with another opportunity there. But we are currently defending, so I don't like that. Turns away pretty easily, so good thing we kept in Gector, because he just turned that away way too easily, and we gave up a goal even easier. So right when we thought that we had this in the bag, we give it up to a completely open guy. So who was to blame? That is what we want to know. It looks like it might be O'Neill. Yeah, O'Neill just out of position, and who's the other one? Street as well. So it does make sense. Does Street have a headband? I think Street has a headband. We should be able to endure this, though. I'm not too worried, but 3-2 isn't the kind of win that we were hoping to get from this. maybe taking off Gelhart was the mistake. But we do want to see as much as we can from Ngoy. He is getting exhausted though. He seems to be running, but we haven't seen any highlights from it. So, and O'Nian's playing well despite the yellow that he just got. And here looks like the possibly one of the last opportunities of the game. Rogers, I mean, yeah, we're definitely going to sell you, especially with that effort. This is the time to shine, bud. And looks like we have the same thing as last game. Street also looking completely out of his depth there. He's just a ball watcher at this point. And it looks like it's going to close in on the 4 minutes there. Street, the only thing he had to do there was just hold on to the ball, and turns out he can't even do that. So it does make me worry about the transfer that we did for him. Maybe don't risk it all on such young players. That is probably the one thing we have to... Between him and Arujo, we did give up a decent amount of money. I think around 10 million over a couple seasons. So it, yeah, we end up winning there 3-2. So I'm not too upset about it, but it is something to pay attention to. But yeah, we're happy with the outcome. I don't know how much money we end up getting for that. And we'll take a look at what games we're going to come back for. I feel as though we're probably going to come back maybe for the Carabao semifinals, depending on who we play. Oh, probably like at least one or both of them. We'll probably come back for that and maybe the Burnley game here. Or maybe one of the Champions League games. I think depending on depending on who we end up playing in the Carabao Cup, we might come back for the Porto game there as well. So we'll play that. Actually, that's transfer window. So yeah, we will come back at least in January. We'll probably play a couple games in January. We might want to play the last game for Arsenal. So we'll probably come back for the Champions League game, probably the Porto or the Carabao Cup one, and then definitely come back for the Arsenal one to see what kind of transfers we're able to do. But that should be it for today. Hopefully you guys enjoy this the video. Like and subscribe if you want to see more. Thank you everyone for watching, and until next time.